I'm Will Todd. I'm a composer living in England, and I've written a lot of choral music and opera music. I'm also a jazz musician, and improvising has informed a lot of the way that I've written my music. The first experiences I had of choral music were singing in my parish choir in Durham in the northeast of England. And that's where I first encountered the amazing sounds that human voices can make, the different layers of sound that you get when you stack different voices on top of each other. I think I was searching to really get something of that essence of the Christmas feeling that I had when I was younger. And as I was writing it, I was imagining being in a big space. I was imagining Durham Cathedral in the town where I grew up. And I imagined the sound of drifting plain song melody building around this large space. "2012 was the Diamond Jubilee of the late Queen Elizabeth II. And I was asked to write a special anthem that was performed at a service of Thanksgiving for her reign at St Paul's Cathedral. And it was a very special commission because it was written for a choir of 60 children who came from all around the British Isles and formed a special diamond choir. The piece, The Call of Wisdom, has been performed all over the world since then, but it was an amazing experience to be a part of that royal occasion. I fell in love with the piano when I was really small, and I used to love experimenting and playing around on this amazing instrument where you can make all sorts of different sounds just by pressing the keys. When I actually start writing a piece of music, I always begin at the piano, trying out different things, exploring, if you like, being playful and trying to find my way into the music through improvisation. So inspiration is one of those strange things. It can be quite hard for us to define what inspires us. Sometimes I begin my journey with a piece of music by looking at the text and absorbing that, and in a sense having my own emotional response to that text. At other times I might be walking in the countryside, thinking about ideas. I often find moving around and being in nature can help me have ideas. I also sit at the piano quite often and use that to help me journey into pieces of music. When I'm composing music, obviously I need to focus really carefully on the sounds of the music and the harmony and my inner ear, and making sure that I get that music put down on paper or on the computer. But when I'm editing music and tidying things up and making them look neat and beautiful, I love listening to that most English of sports, cricket, on the radio. So I find that I can get a lot of editing done while I listen to a whole game in the background. Mass in Blue is an exuberant and energetic work for jazz orchestra, choir and soprano soloist. In this piece, I poured lots of ingredients from the music and traditions that I grew up with. One of them is that choral tradition, singing in church, and you can hear hymn-like and chorale-like elements in the music. But there's also me, the jazz and blues improvising player, underneath it all, this jazz energy rolling and moving and energetically forcing the music forward. And I think it's a piece which sometimes surprises people because it's got so much joy and lyricism, and it's really a fun work, although it's also a very profound piece and a setting of the Mass.